Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome back
Hi,
to
everyone.
the
Out
internet.
there.
Good day,
Hello,
mate.
internet. It's good to see you.
It's so good to see you, internet.
Good
Have you been working
evening.
out? You look good. Have you
look
lost weight?
You look different.
You look
than
different.
you did
Good looking
last
internet
time.
today.
Internet.
You look like an ex that I'm happy I ran into at the grocery store.
Oh my.
Which doesn't happen often. Let's be
That was
honest.
very
But
specific.
banter aside, hey everybody, welcome back to our game. Welcome back to War Games News Radio. And a Fistful of Neutrons, a Fallout 2D20 live adventure. My name is Ryan. I am your overseer and host
Hi,
here
Ryan.
at War Games News Radio. Hi. And these are our players. Hello, players. Hello, everyone. Good
day.
Friday
Hello.
to you. Happy Fallout Friday to all. And to all,
TGI Fallout, baby. Let's
good
do
Friday.
this.
let's do this thing. This is episode 13. Spoopy. Very good luck, bad luck number. Lucky number 13? I don't know.
Friday the 13th.
Lucky 13 Casino, maybe. However you want to go with it. We
trying.
are here now. It is Friday the 13th, and we are live on Fridays now. We used to be live on Thursday, so thank you so much for sticking with us as we move to our new day. Same time.
We were in direct competition with friends. We had to move. It was
Same back channel. It's
Like reruns of Friends.
Yeah.
Direct competition.
yeah, it's bad. Must see TV. Well, this is must see streaming,
Seinfeld was killing us.
I guess. They would. They would crush
would.
us.
Crush us.
They would
if they
murder
had the
us.
option. But this is not a show about nothing. This is a show about something. This is a show about friends playing games together, and it's a lot of fun. So thank you so much for joining, friends new and old. Who do we have with us today? We got Hondad. I see Matthew Neisinger, if I'm saying that correctly. I always seem to say wrong. Our resident rules checker, which is always happy to have everyone on board. And thanks so much for tuning in. So let's get down to business. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can catch up on all the 2D20 action, as well as the Fallout Wasteland Warfare content that we've got here on the channel. Skyrim Sundays, which a new episode of that is coming out this Sunday, first Sunday of every month. So new battle report coming there as well. And lots of new content that we're working on down the line for 2022, which is very exciting. And if you want to get an idea of what some of that content might be, check out the 2022 channel update, which put up just around the beginning of the new year. So lots of new stuff in there, and we are officially in year 2 of making content for fine folks like yourselves. So check out that update and see what we've got in store. Now, if you like what we do here, like some of you folks have already taken the time to do, you can support us on Patreon or Streamlabs, which we will be winding down sooner than later. It hasn't. We got it to try to expand into the Twitchiverse, and YouTube seems to be where you guys want to watch this show. So we're probably just going to ixnay the Streamlabs and the Twitch stuff and maybe just focus on YouTube. Stay tuned for more of that down the line. But we're looking at where we want to sort of focus the show, and that seems to be where you folks want to watch it. So that's probably where we'll
It's not a forever thing.
keep it. It's easier
It's
for
not
us.
you, it's us.
Yeah, exactly. And it's it's easier.
We're all
for us,
just
so.
figuring it out as we go,
There you
guys.
go. We don't know what we're doing, but we're
We don't know what
figuring
the
it out.
fuck we're doing.
Playing Calvin Ball as we go. So if you like what we do, you can check us out on Patreon and elsewhere. And of course, join our Discord server. There's links to that down below. Always great chatting with folks there in Discord, talking about this game, Wasteland Warfare, hobbying in general, just general nerd stuff.
Fishing.
It's a good time. So
Camping.
there we go. One last thing before we get going into the show proper. Quick heads up that most folks already know that the world of Fallout can deal with some tense and or mature subject matter, mature as they say. It can often be violent or dark. We avoid going to any super icky and unnecessarily dark places. However, the program does feature some coarse language, some violence, and content which may be uncomfortable for some viewers. So if you think that you might get weirded out by something that would happen in a post-nuclear wasteland, you have been warned. But with that housekeeping out of the way, let's go around our virtual tabletop here and get reintroduced and reacquainted with our cast of characters, starting this time around with Grant. Grant, tell us about yourself and your character, the Rifleman.
Hello. First, I would like to extend a DC 20 curse onto Matthew Neisinger for getting the Friends theme song stuck in my head in the comments. That's wonderful.
That was them clapping, but it was gunshots instead.
Yeah, I'm Grant Elliott Charles Kingsmith, People call me the Rifleman. I got my dog Duke here, and last time I checked, we're on the run with 3,900 gallons of water. Running like a bat out of hell, exiting Dogtown. The rash still hasn't gone away.
And it's not likely to if you don't have a chance to sit down and get some real good doctoring done. But you do have a good amount of Aquapura with you now, which will probably go a long way in a somewhat arid desert. But before we get back to the water tanker itself, let's reintroduce Yuri, as played by Justin. Justin, tell us about yourself and your...
Hi, my name is Justin. First time, long time. I play Yuri Andropov, a ghoul caravaner and a Catholic priest who survived the nuclear fallout. We're loaded up. My character, I should say, needs to get a certain number of gallons back to the Crimson Caravan. Otherwise, they're gonna keep my precious Enola May, and that I cannot abide. So
this shit ain't happening.
Down.
Yeah, loaded up and water trucking, and so far you're on a good bend, but well, it's a long way from here to there, so we'll see what adventures await, but not before we get reintroduced to Johnny Bottlecap, as played by Raj. Razi, tell us a little bit about yourself and Johnny.
Hello, I'm Raj, and I play Johnny Bottlecap, a lovable riff-raff, former vault dweller, ne'er-do-well. I don't know. Is that the correct word to use? Like he's
tried.
A
scamp.
Right.
He's a
bad guy.
Definite.
Always do well.
He is typically a lucky guy, but he is completely fresh out of luck for this quest. Ooh. So that's something a little new for old Johnny. So he's gonna have to rely on his skill and actual aptitudes as opposed to his luck for the last leg of this journey. And I'm really curious to see where that takes us.
As am I, because in all of our 13 episodes and our random adventures, you haven't ran out of luck points yet.
There just seemed like there were so many of them, you know?
I mean, when you got 10 of them, you know, you're just dishing them out. Like, you know, it's like payday. You know, you're like 19, just hitting the club like, oh yeah, I'll buy freaking lemon drop shots all night. And then before you know it, you can't make rent. And you're out of luck points. That's never happened to me. I'm not...
Suspiciously specific.
We were all 19 once, but...
We were all 19 and had lemon drop
I did make rent. But that's a story for another time. And mistakes, they do happen. Because with all of that out of the way, let's go back just a wee bit. Well, 2 weeks in real time and just a few hours in Wasteland World. Because it's been an interesting 48 hours. A few days ago, you left Boudler City after accepting a job to fetch water for the Crimson Caravan, driving a Brahmin train and pre-war water tanker through the post-nuclear wasteland that is the Colorado Territories. After traveling through the no man's land of Dogtown and getting into a couple scrapes, you made it to the Grand Western Reservoir, where you found more water than any of you have ever seen. Calling it fresh might be a bit of a stretch, as it's fairly irradiated and somewhat stanky, but it's water. And you fired up the tanker's pumps and got more than you bargained for. As all this commotion woke a sleeping giant in the form of a Mirelurk queen and her snippy snappy brood. You managed to hold off the creepy crawly crustaceans in a race against time. The tanker slowly filled with water, and you narrowly escaped certain doom thanks to some good shooting and some quicker thinking. You're now back on what's affectionately known as the Furry Road, headed north through Dogtown on your way back to Boudler City. In return for this dangerous trek through the badlands of what was once Denver, Colorado, and now is a dog-infested wasteland, the Crimson Caravan's regional manager, the very unlikable Robert Waxman, has agreed to pay
that guy
you all.
for real.
Yeah, fuck him up his stupid ass. He's agreed to pay you all 20 shiny bottle caps, not unlike the Johnny variety. And what's more, he's agreed to help you stake a trade route to the town of Longmount, which has become your unofficial home away from home. But unbeknownst to Johnny and Grant, failing this fetch quest will result in Yuri losing the deed to his beloved companion and pack Brahmin Anola May, who he put up as collateral for taking this ever so risky business. That was then, and as we cut to the here and now, it is early morning on the day after your tussle with the Lurks at the reservoir. We open on a small makeshift camp under the shade of a pre-war superhighway overpass. It's the highest landmark for what looks like miles, but it's barely hanging on by a thread all by itself. Crumbling concrete, rebar everywhere, but it sheltered you all from the sun in the late evening and through to the light rain which accompanied evening time and overnight. You've got some sort of, hide tarpaulins stretched out from the giant pre-war war rig and stretched out as tents, very, very, on the road style. Boulder City is about a day's ride to the north, and there's lots of territory between here and there. But the keener-eyed among you have noticed that from time to time along this trip, you've noticed the telltale glint of sun on glass and something watching you from the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. Clint is whistling a caravanner's tune while the Brahmin are lowing in the fields. And Clint is cooking up something on a small bed of embers, while your hired muscle, the super mutant known as Dorman Guns, looks on intently with a bit of a 1,000-yard stare. You're about a day's ride from your destination, and getting that trade route that you've oh so longed for since setting out on this adventure some several weeks ago. How did each of you spend the night? And what are you up to this morning? Grant.
Well, I definitely was going to try to get up on top of this crumbled overpass as high ground, see if I can't counter scope the scoper off to the west. I don't have a great scope. It's a short scope, so I know I'm not going to be able to see anything really. But I just like if there's smoke signals, or I'm looking in the direction. If there's any dust clouds moving in our direction from another wheeled vehicle or something.
Okay.
I'm just looking around. I'm scouting it out.
You want
You
to do?
can't counter scope a scoper. Once somebody's been scoped, you can't scope them again.
You can't triple stamp and double stamp. Can't triple
You can't
stamp and double stamp.
a double stamp.
No.
No racies.
no ticksies backsies. If you want to do a little reconnoiter, yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
Order that wrecking.
I like
Yeah,
that. We
let's
can
do it.
we can play around with that. Yeah, the overpass. It's like, imagine if you will, like as abstract Stonehenge is, where it is. You know what I mean? There's not much, like there's the leftover bits like all along the ground itself. What used to be this interchange of super connected super highways has all but collapsed, minus these sort of two stanchions, is that what they're called? And then the roadway itself above. So there's not really an easy way to get about this. You could try to scramble up it, do some sort of climbing, what they call it, rock climbing. You got the climbing walls, right? I mean, it's pockmarked and there's rebar and shit all about. So
What is this thing they call activity outside?
When you climb a rock, what's it called?
What
What's the
are the kids
scientific
doing
name for
these
that?
days? Climbing rocks?
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say if you want to climb up it, you could either take your time, and I'll let you get up to it with a difficulty 0 test, in which you can. We don't do these that often, but you can still roll for it to try to generate more action points. But I'll let you succeed all by your lonesome. But it's going to take you a good half an hour to scramble up on this bitch.
I will have spent also like this is what I did overnight. Like I gave myself lots of time.
Then
I'm doing
I'll
my
stand
broody
corrected on
thing.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll stand corrected on that. If you're not doing it like you had a nice little sleep underneath the truck and then woke up and decided to climb up this thing, I would make you either spend time or roll for it. But if this is something I say you did overnight, I'll say that you were able to spend the time to do it. I'll still let you do it as a difficulty 0 test if you want to try to roll.
Sure, I like rolling dice.
Sure.
Athletics, is that what this is? A strength?
Yeah. We'll make it a strength plus athletics.
Target number is a is a terrible 4.
Great.
Grant, not strong.
I'm not a
Yeah,
strong
hate
guy.
to see it.
I'm not a young
Yeah,
man
hate
anymore.
Yeah.
So the numbers didn't. The math isn't working out here on my math rocks.
The math aren't rocking for you?
So could we say rather than me falling to my death or something that I just couldn't find a way up there? Because I rolled a 9 and a 12 and the target was 4. So
Okay.
like I didn't fail, but I definitely just like
So
looking up at this thing. There's nothing.
And this is worth explaining because we don't do these often. But difficulty 0 test, how it is, it's you're doing a bit of a gamble. So you're gonna succeed on a difficulty 0 test. You succeed no matter what. But so you don't have to roll. But if you do roll and say you succeed or you get any number of successes over 0, so
crit,
1, you get additional action points. But it also introduces the risk of you critical failing on something that I was going to let you do for free. So it's a bit of a gamble in that you can try to generate some action for your pool, but you also might end up eating, the barrel of your own shotgun by accident and having that be what happens.
I didn't Cobain myself. Okay.
No.
So I make it up there though. That's good.
Yeah, so you get up there, you didn't crit, but you didn't success. It takes you about an hour to sort of do some Duke is a little bit worried when he's watching this happen, and I will say that due to the difficult nature of what's happening here, Duke will not be able to accompany you.
I wouldn't take him up there
on this. Okay, so we'll flash back to reality. Oh, there goes Grant Vitti in a moment. As we come back. Ooh, sorry. And we'll go to Yuri, and we'll come back to what Grant did overnight. While Yuri, what did you do? How was your evening, and what are you doing this morning?
Yeah, I think that Yuri
You are muted, sir.
I'm muted.
I can hear him.
I can hear
For
him.
what it's worth.
Okay, well, I can't hear you.
I dropped out of.
Now I can hear you.
Okay,
There we go.
I dropped out of
internet
OBS for
problems.
some reason really quickly.
My apologies.
Anyway,
There was a lag. You are back.
okay. Yeah, I think Yuri spent the remainder or most of the evening patching Dorman Guns up because and himself. I think Dorman Guns got quite beat up in the encounter.
He did. He almost died.
So I'm going to spend most of the evening taking care of him, as well as I think I'm going to be running some calculations. Like you see Yuri up for a lot of the night pacing, sort of marking water levels on the tanker, and like doing some mathematical calculations about like weight, possible speed that they can move based on what he can estimate what it weighed empty to now. A kilo or a kilogram is a liter of water, so how many liters in a gallon, blah blah blah. He's running the math.
You're running the numbers. You're running the numbers.
Running the numbers about how fast they could possibly push this thing if needed.
Okay.
And we'll actually kind of chat with Clint about it and say, Clint, I estimate we've taken on quite a bit of weight. How fast do you think? You have the more practical knowledge on driving large ramen teams like this. What do you think? How fast do you think we could be moving?
When you get him talking about you start asking questions you're back and forth about how fast can you move Brahmin speed, he's loving it. He starts just fully eating it up. Well, that's a good question. You see, because we got old Sally here. I can't remember. I gave the 3 Brahmins names. I think there was Huey, Dewey, and Louie actually.
That sounds right.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds like something stupid that I would have come up with on the fly. He's like, well, Huey here, she doesn't eat one, and she might not move so fast, but Dewey, on the other hand, he'll take up the slack and fix it up. And he's just giving you a Brahmin tale all about it.
For sure. I'll kind of crack my back and stand up and say, we have approximately 2,900 gallons, correct?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I had 3,900.
Oh, it's
3,900.
3,900.
2,750 is what you need to come home with. And yes, 39. Yeah, because you guys hooked up the extra pump to the thing, so you got a little extra gravy, little secret sauce there.
Good gravy.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna crack my back, and sort of say to him, I'm like, if we have approximately 3,900 gallons, if my math is correct, is About 40,000 pounds here that these 3 Brahmin are moving. How fast do you think, yes, if we got into a scrape, how fast do you think that we could move, and how long would it take to get up to top speed?
Well, y'all have been pushing these 3 pretty hard since we left Boulder. That first run down here, we were going non-stop. But, well, you know, run back from when they used to do it before all the troubles we had getting this water run done in the first place. It would take usually about 3 days. But we've already traveled about half a day, so we got about another day and a half left. But, I mean, if we really hoofed it, without stopping, we'd be back... break a day tomorrow, and I mean taking it at a even a decent pace is gonna put us back more like midday. So we could probably cut, if we had to, about 8 hours off this bad boy, going with how fast we can pull this thing. Which, if you mean in a scrape what I think you mean, I can get them going. And like he kind of gives you like, yeah, we'll say that he like kind of like has a bit of a Brahmin commiseration moment with you, like kind of like showing you the ropes literally and the reins and how he drives this thing. So yeah, you figure that, you know, if you could at the speed that you're going right now, it would be slower than even your top speed is going to be slower than like the traveling speed you guys were doing when you were kind of breakneck this thing down the way you're going. But yeah, you can move with the 3 of those Brahmin. You can move at a decent clip. We'll call it, I think I was saying earlier you guys were moving like 30 clicks an hour. It's probably down more like 15 at this point.
Okay, so about half speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that, Yuri kind of like gets a sad look on his face and looks over the Brahmin. And to pull back the veil a little bit, Yuri is he's made the decision that if need be, he'll run these Brahmin to death to get them back fast. But you do see like a very sad, that's a very hard and sad decision for him to come to.
That is the darkest thing we've had on this show to date. And Grant shot a kid.
I shot a kid.
By accident.
By accident.
Love
you, Hondat.
He survived, Hondat. We love you, buddy. I was about to go but he's still alive. He's fine. Okay. Yep, good to know. Like it's hell bent.
Yeah, that's my little vignette. He's
hell bent for Brahmin
some hard life math on this.
Okay.
Yeah. Got to make some tough choices.
Yeah.
You want to get water, you got to kill a few Brahmin.
There you go. You want an omelet?
You
want an omelet? You got to crack a couple Deathclaw eggs. Okay, good to know. Would that whole exchange have happened last night or early morning?
I would say that was later at night before bed, and okay. I think that Yuri just kind of unrolls his pack and sets up near the campfire. With Grant as Overwatch, he's none too worried about, you know, getting a big heads up if anything should happen. So he kind of like rolls his pack out, tends to Dorman Guns wounds one more time, gives him a look over, and then yeah, just settles in for a restless sleep, I think. Okay, I like it. Moving on to our man Johnny Bottlecap. Johnny, how and what did you get up to? How did you sleep? What did you get up to last night? And what's the morning look like?
Johnny slept like a baby. He
up every 2 hours. Always wanted some milk.
Yeah, right. He snuck to the fridge to have a midnight snack and all that stuff. You know, he lost like half of his hit points over the last encounter there. Okay. So he definitely wants to get a nice full rest. I'm assuming he can charge himself back up if he's got enough time to do that.
Absolutely.
He kind of like he expects that they're probably being watched, but he's also okay with it because he realizes Grant's probably, you know, taking care of it. Like Grant's gonna go take a look, and if there's something up, he'll tell us. So Johnny's like, he can sleep pretty comfortably knowing that. So he just kind of, you know, gets his guns cleaned out and ready for action should it be needed. But then he lies down, goes to bed.
Okay, there we go. Good. Well, in that case, yes, hit points back to maximum. We'll say you got the long rest, so you get the well rested perk as well, which I believe gives you plus 2 to your max hit points for the next day, having gotten that long rest, as they say.
Sure hope I don't develop a case of sudden onset narcolepsy while everyone thinks I'm the one on watch.
Could be the way it goes. Speaking of Grant on watch, Grant,
Yes, sir.
you're on watch. It is you get up there, before sunset, I'll say. So you're not climbing steel monstrosity in the dark. But once you're up there, it's pretty uneventful. You did, for the most part, as the sun goes down, you are going to have to give me a perception check. We'll say that it's going to be a difficulty 3 perception and survival test. Depending on your level of success will depend on what you glean about your surroundings.
Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and use and or buy a action point, please.
You may purchase one, yes, sir.
Oh, that's because I bought one. I get to re-roll. Thanks, perk.
Thanks, Burke.
Sweet.
Okay,
Perk?
so 3 successes.
Okay, very good.
Thanks to cautious nature.
Thanks to a cautious nature.
How cautious of you.
Gotta love when you take those perks and they actually come
Love the
in
perks.
handy. Yeah. As the sun goes down, I'll say that that's sort of your cumulative roll for the night. But you do catch again, in sort of the waning twilight. You catch again that glint. It's closer now than it's been. It's still too far away, given the fact that you don't have anything sort of high power to see,
Right.
to make out what it is. But you do. I mean, you've been in the other end of this situation enough times to know glass on glare when you see it.
Yeah.
You will recall at the end of the last episode as well. I did mention, because you got, I believe, a really stellar roll at the end of the game, you thought you heard briefly the very far off tamping of beats of some type, what sounded to be hooves of something. You listen for that throughout the rest of the evening, and you do briefly once it's dark. So it's hard to see it at this stage of the game. It's overcast but still clear. But I mean, there's no electric lights to speak of, so you're only relying on the blue black shimmer of the moon and your visual purple. And you aren't able to see anything, but you do again, sort of as the wind sort of shifts and changes, coming from the west in the direction of where you did see this glint. You do again hear, and for a moment almost, and you're not sure if it's like a psychosomatic thing or what, but you almost feel like a slight tremor. It's like almost like a Jurassic Park moment, but it's over as quick as it comes.
Okay.
Cool.
Justin doesn't like that at all.
I'm gonna. Well, I'm up. So
Justin
I'm up there
isn't on
watching-
the overpass.
Watching, hearing, and feeling, Big Bertha coming at us here. I'm gonna just grab a piece of gravel, and I'm gonna start chucking little bits of gravel down at the camp to get their attention, because I want to call out and make attract any attention here.
Sure.
I'll keep doing it until someone looks up, and then I'll point in the direction of the disturbance as it approaches.
I'll say at the very least, Dorman Guns. It picks up on this at some point, and he sort of snaps out of one of these sort of dazes and trances that you've seen him go into from time to time, and sort of looks up, sort of sees you. Do you say? Do you just kind of like?
I'm gonna
SWAT hand
gesture
signals?
like 2 eyes, and I'm gonna point in the direction. I'm
Sure.
gonna make some very cool, badass hand symbols that look like baseball players.
SWAT hand signals. This guy stinks. He's
Yeah.
short.
Got him.
Okay. It's interesting when you do that. Like, he gets up, and for about an hour, in sort of the darker points of the night, and we'll say while this is going on, there's a bit of a small campfire going on, and Clint regaling Johnny with some tales of the road, which he seems to just be like having someone new to talk to, and like someone who's, you know, generally pretty impressionable and easily impressed. Clint's just like telling you, "Oh, Dan, about that time," and just like any situation.
Tell me another
that
one,
he can.
mister.
You know what? I've seen. You're not the first Vault Dweller I ever seen. You know, back in the hub, it was a couple decades back now, and it's like going on. He just regales the story of Fallout 2 to you.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Was he from Vault 13?
No, but he had a tattered Vault. She had a tattered Vault 13 jumpsuit actually, and it was a bit of a tribal, as I recall it. Anyway, you play the game. It's great.
Go play Fallout.
Go play Fallout 2. Everyone, stop what you're doing. Go play Fallout 2. Beat the whole game.
We'll
Come back in a week.
Beat the whole game.
No, wait.
Don't
go.
We'll
Wait.
wait.
Do that.
We'll
after.
wait in real time.
We'll wait in real
There you
time.
go.
We'll be back. But Dorman Guns gets up from the campfire, and like it's a full on like, we're doing a spaghetti western here, folks. If you haven't caught that net already, but like it's a full on like, Clint's got a fucking old harmonica that he's playing there, and you know Duke's curled up by the campfire.
Add
And
that
like,
for some flavor. I do have a mandolin. I will play the mandolin with him.
hell yeah. And like you guys and like are like chilling, like you just escaped a Mirelurk queen. Like there's enough to celebrate. Like it's been a shit couple of days, and like the last week since leaving Longmount has been a bit of a fuckaroo for all you guys. So like, yeah,
You're getting too old for this shit.
it's not a bad time to take a little break and enjoy a little campfire frivolity and Clint's ridiculous stories. But Dorman Guns gets up and he heads off in the direction of where you sort of point and indicate. He's gone for about an hour, and you're very keenly watching to see, you know, where he goes once he disappears sort of down an alleyway. And you don't see hide nor hair of him until he sort of just pops back up through the way he came. He looks at you, gives you a bit of a shrug, and goes back to the fire. But he was gone for a surprisingly long time.
Okay.
The rest of the evening
Bathroom break.
It was a bathroom break, yeah.
You had to have a
The rest of the
bathroom break.
evening passes, you know, fairly unceremoniously. You're able to get a little bit of rest. So we'll say you get healed up, but you don't get the well rested perk. And Yuri, you went for a swim, I believe, in the irradiated water tank.
I did to
Yes.
heal up a bunch of my injuries. So
Yes, good.
I sucked up all those delicious rads and
Fresh
healed
drink
myself that
water.
way.
We
Yeah.
don't recommend you swim in irradiated water to cure
Yeah,
yourselves.
please don't do that.
No,
I can regenerate
for
myself,
everyone.
but you can't. Play safe.
It's not for anyone.
It's not for anyone.
but it is
I
for our
put my arm
ghoul.
back on.
Yeah. You put your arm back on. We can't, but you get that. You get all healed up. And Dorman Guns, you both. He was injured, but you stim packed him. And I'll say, just given the passage of time and
For sure.
infinite rolls, you're able to get him healed up as well. Clint, I think, actually took a little bit of a clip there, but we'll say that he's doing all right.
Yeah, I think you're just
as
gonna
well.
go around, like I said, and just patch everybody up a little bit, do some doctoring. And
I won't make you do an individual roll for it. We'll say you're able to, given enough infinite time, you're able to get everybody patched up and then into their racks for the night. And as they awake in the morning, we snap back to where we opened up, with Clint and Dorman Guns gathered around the remains of the evening's fire, cooking up something. And the rest of y'all just waking up in the morning. You are about a days and a bits ride away from your destination. What do you do? What's the morning looking like? Are you gonna put up some camp, do some searching around? You gonna just get on the road? What's the plan?
I think Yuri is itching to get fucking going. I think as soon as it got to be like dawn's early light, blue sky, he was ready. He got ready, packed up, and like was prepping the Brahmin to go.
Okay.
Kind of woke. Yuri will be less patient than he normally is, and kind of pass Clint in his bedroll and give him a kick and just be like, "If it's time, get up." We are to
Oh,
prepare.
Clint's already awake. Well, he's you would come up to him by the fire, and you see that he's very intently again, sort of singing one of these, whistling a jaunty cowboy tune. As in the embers of the fire, you see a Mirelurk egg.
Clint. Where did you get that?
Oh, this? Oh yeah. Well, you remember those itty bitty ones that latched onto the tranker, eh?
Yes, I remember them very well.
Well, I woke up this morning. I found one of them was still sort of hanging on just by a thread. I opened it up, trying to get some meat, and I found more eggs. Look at this thing.
How many more eggs did you find? Where were they?
Oh, there's only about 2 or 3 of them still underneath the tanker there. It's gonna make for good eating.
I'm gonna give a whistle to Johnny and Grant, and Yuri's gonna start investigating the tanker immediately for more Mirelurk hatchling eggs.
Sure.
For stuck on barnacle bullshit
Stuck on barnacle bullshit motherfuckers. Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say Grant knows that we took damage running that blockade. And I want to make sure there's not a bunch of Mirelurks splish splashing around in our fresh, cool water. So I'm gonna have a look
you're reading my mail, bud.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna pop my head in somehow. If there's a hatch or whatever, look through the whole crack.
Yeah, definitely. On the outside, Yuri, you're able to do a little looking around, and sure enough, you find that there are the remnants of a couple of these Mirelurk hatchlings in their sort of gross proto-spawny sort of behavior, and there are indeed a couple of like eggs that have been globbed onto the underside of the carriage in like sort of membraney. I mean, I'm really loving this whole arc because I get to do this. Yeah, super gross. And so there's some eggs attached to 2 of them. You find, in fact, Grant, in your snooping around, you definitely just sort of like looking through. You're able to open the hatch, and you do hear the sort of splish splash of what you can assume are probably some other hatchlings that got sucked up with the situation there. Whether or not that's a normal part of this water gathering process is unbeknownst to you, but there is definitely a couple of little dudes inside the tank.
I'm doing a little bit of a Witcher moment.
Fuck.
Nice.
Yes, I have some down here too, Grant, as I'm like smashing the eggs with the butt of Sherlock Holmes to break them up.
Yeah, when you break them up, it's like it's not, there's not like, roll for initiative, Mirelurks.
Yeah,
it's like it's like it's like you dropped an egg on the, yeah, exactly. Chest buster. No, you for sure just cracked them. It's like when you drop an egg on the floor. Yeah, busted.
For sure.
Busted.
Yeah. So I will, after that, and I'm as Yuri kind of confers with Grant and be like, there were many eggs on the undercarriage here, but I believe that I've swept them all. We should not be taking any passengers back with us.
Well,
I'll tell you right now, there's a couple little seahorse delights floating around in our drinking water as we're going. I don't imagine they're strong enough they could do anything to the structure.
It sounds like a Crimson Caravan problem to me. Would you not agree?
Yeah, so long as we get all these drops back.
Grant can kind of tell that Yuri, this is an important mission for him. I don't know why yet, but I can tell you.
Grant does not know why, but he definitely, you've hung out with Yuri for long enough that he's much more patient than this normally.
Yeah,
and right now he's champing at the bit to get the fuck on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've noticed something's been up since before you left the saloon there. So yeah, it's there's definitely something a little odd about Yuri's behavior currently. But yep, sure enough, you got a couple lurks in the tank, but the outside ones have been busted up. Clint, when this happens, goes, "Hey, whoa, Daddy, I was saving those. That's not too bad. Man, we don't get that kind of thing around here often."
I'll tell him that there's some we're gonna leave fresh for him inside the tanker. He can go nuts as soon as we get back.
You can choose your own lobster, as it were. And like I say that joke, but then I realize he probably doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about because that's like a pre-war.
That's a
thing.
pre-war. It's a
What's
pre-war
a
joke.
lobster?
You had to
What's
be.
a lobster?
You had to be there. 200 years ago.
Lobster.
You had to be
You had
there.
to be there.
You had to be there.
Yeah.
Had to be there.
So there you go. No dice. But yeah, I'll say you're able to Clint is able. I was gonna share at the very least, but this one's mine now. And he takes it and goes about and like he's now coveting this thing now that it's the only one left and puts it in a burlap sack of sorts and puts it up next to him in the driver's seat of your chariot of sorts. He gets everything sort of squared away and up and running and gets the Brahmin all saddled up. Dorman Guns comes and finds you once you get down off the overpass there, Grant. You and Johnny sitting together as getting ready to load up. I gave a quick look out that way. Didn't see much that caught my eye. What did you clock our company again? You know the
I glance over at Johnny as I'm sitting on top of the tanker. All I can say is I wish I had a better scope.
that makes all of us, I think. It's odd to see. Well, it's been a while since I've been out this way, but don't awfully see people with a lot of patience around these parts. Usually it's shoot first, look for loot later.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the score here, too, if you've been paying attention. Mistakes do happen.
I guess they do. He shoots you a quick look there, Johnny, having that I think you've shot him twice now.
It's like you look like you shot him bullets.
Like he's still on about that, eh? Oh man.
Oh man, wait, you still butthurt about that time I shot you in the chest?
man.
What's the deal?
Yeah.
I guess we're never gonna get past that.
Oh.
Some people's
Grant-
kids.
Grant starts doing some relationship counseling on the convoy as we're passing time. How did that make you feel, Dorman Guns?
Well, kind of made me feel like I got shot in the chest.
Oh, can you see, Johnny?
I
How shooting a
can,
man in the chest might have caused him to feel like he got shot in the chest?
I could see how he may have reached that conclusion.
As the convoy gets headed up and on the road, we'll say it's still probably just barely past 7 o'clock, maybe 7:30, as this traveling freak show gets rolling. How are you all traveling? What does it look like? Who's where? Who's what? And what are y'all doing?
Johnny's upstairs. He's on top of the tanker, facing forwards, rifle in his hand.
Nice.
Yeah, I think Yuri is riding shotgun
Okay.
up with Clint and kind of like metaphorically pressing his gas pedal down. Like
Okay.
keeping the Brahmin at a brisk pace.
Okay. Yeah, keeping him on and steady. Dorman Guns is sort of slouched again, sort of the rear axle of this thing, hanging out by the still on top of the tanker, but like on like the ladder on the back side that goes down off the rear of it. Grant, where are you?
Well, I'm on top of the tanker, too. Giving Duke one of the old scritches behind that spot in his ear that always just the right spot.
Gotta love that.
And
Duke loves
every
that.
15 minutes or so, the rifle's coming up and I'm having a 360 scope around.
Sure, I like it. The early parts of the morning, it's slower going through this area in general compared to the sort of roundabout route through the rural areas that you took on the way down. This is basically a straight shot up from Dogtown and the Denver to Boulder City proper. So it's much more like you would be able to see on our viewers' screen now. The shot in the middle of our 4 players. It's not unlike that the area where you ran into the raiders, but a little more dense and a little less obvious of a death trap. In so that you are having to sort of meander around the wrecks of burned out cars, centuries of debris and detritus scattered through the streets. But you are moving at a decent speed. Every now and then there is some sort of blockage that does require Clint to stop and Dorman Guns and who's now in the habit of recruiting Johnny to help him, which you're basically there for moral support as Dorman / Hitman Guns just picks up cars and just hucks them out of the way, Incredible Hulk style. But you're there to help every now and then. You move, a couple rocks, things, boulders. Well, yeah,
like Zoolander, holding the lump of coal.
That's exactly it. And yeah, you are able to get it going. It's only a couple times that the road gets so blocked that this is the way you have to do it. As you go, it is pretty slow going at first, at the very least. Once you get sort of a little bit further out into Dogtown, out of Dogtown proper, things do start to open up a little bit more, like you had on your road home. One thing of note that does happen on this journey is, again, devoid of human beings the entire time, but you do come across a handful more of these little conclaves, little packs, if you will, of dogs. And Dogtown does prove true to its name, especially going through this way that you went before. You definitely start to get the net that there's a bit of... Well, actually... Here's what I'll say first. I'll say that you come across all of the handfuls of different packs when you pass different buildings, and it looks like they're sort of staking their claim. You're good with dogs there, Grant. Why don't you give me a
dog check?
Yeah, Doug. Roll for dogs. I guess it would be survival, because it's a survival-y type test. But we'll sort of think outside the box a little bit. What's your intelligence or perception? I'll let you take whichever is higher.
I will perceive this one.
Okay. Then a perception plus survival test will make it a difficulty deuce.
Target's a 10. Ooh, that's a success and a crit fail.
Okay. Interesting. What I'll say on that is that you've been around dogs, not just Duke, in your many long years in interacting as you were once a less reputable mercenary, we'll say, than you are now. And maybe you ran with guys who had packs of dogs, and maybe ones that were used in less of a Duke-like fashion and more of a Sickamy type fashion.
There were some Sickamies.
Yeah, you've encountered some pretty nasty mongrels before. What you do know with that one success is that, again, this is not packs of dogs trained to kill or anything. These are sort of bespoke, discrete groups of dogs which are operating much like families do.
Dog.
A bespoke dog, your proprietary dog, if you will. What I'm trying to say is they're individual family units, not unlike what you would see in a regular settlement.
Like a
And
nuclear family.
a nuclear family. Well, whether or not they're all related is to be seen.
It's not a free for all. They have packs. They do move in herds.
There is some sort of structure going on, but you don't. It's still a little bit odd. But with the crit fail, what I'll also say is that the closer you get to these creatures, when you're trying to suss it out, the less they seem to like it, and the more you encounter, the more you try to figure out, and the more you try to read them, the less good it gets. And at one point, you notice that Duke himself gets champing at the bit. Every time you approach sort of one of these groups, he gets getting the tippy tappies. And for a brief moment, you get the feeling that Duke wants to just leap off of this trailer and have a bit of a Call of the Wild moment.
You got Duke from Dogtown, did you not?
I did. And, hey, Dookie boy.
He is not
I
listening.
presume he's not. He doesn't even look over at me.
He's fully in another world.
Hey, Duke, I know you're distracted, but listen, boy. You're your own dog, and I've always said that. And anytime you want to leave, I'm not saying you have to go, but if you do, I'll always love you, boy.
For a hot second, he barks and like is like, "Yup, see ya," and barks off, but stops. Because of that crit, you don't lose Duke. I'm not that cruel of a fucking overseer. But what I will say is that Duke, whilst you're in Dogtown, is basically no good to you with that critical fail. Your bonus to perception is gone. He is so distracted. The smells of other dogs and everything in the air, even as a combat companion. If you want to try to rein him in, it's gonna take some effort. But at the moment, any Duke-related buffs which you would be getting are nil.
Yeah, fair enough. I will try to scrounge up something for him to eat as a treat, because he's stuck around, and I'm gonna pat him on the
Yuri
head.
tosses you the egg that Clint had in his burlap sack.
What? You
It's
just
for the greater good. I will buy you a Brahmin steak when we get back to Boulder City.
you can't. Don't use the BS word around the.
I'll buy you a mole rat steak then.
Read the room, buddy.
That's better.
Woof.
They don't know their food. Jesus.
Oh my God, Brahmins are food? Brahmins make you fat?
Soylent Green is people. It's Brahmin. It's Brahmin. There you
Yeah,
go.
so I say, here, Grant,
Duke accepts.
give him this.
Duke accepts. He does not. I'm not gonna make you lose your dog because like that's a dick move. But he's
I would be sad. I would cry.
he's antsy as fuck, and yeah, he's very distracted, if you will.
Yeah.
But the road moves on as it do, and
As it do.
as it do, and I'll let the choice be yours. I think we've lost Justin momentarily,
Oh,
so I'll vamp until he gets back,
there
because
we go.
when you're talking like William Shatner, oh, he's back. There we go. Good.
Sorry, yeah,
Hello.
my
All good.
OBS keeps kicking me out.
Don't worry about it.
Every once in a while.
I was vamping expertly. Nobody even noticed. It was
No one
perfect.
noticed. My
Not at all,
expert
not at
vamping.
all. Yeah. But you guys continue on after the incident with Duke. Again, it's pretty stable. Grant, you don't see. I mean, you're now in more of an urban area. Like you can't even see the foothills from where you are now anymore. So any clocking of your mystery guests is impossible at this stage in the game, but you don't come across anything else. And as it gets into the later parts of the evening, I will let the choice be yours. Dost thou wish to ride through the night or try to find somewhere to make camp again for the evening before making the last push back to Boulder?
Hell, Yuri, it's getting late. But listen, I know what's I've been putting pieces together here, and I've got a feeling that we're on a time crunch. What do you say we just muscle through, Johnny?
Yuri. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, when you say this to Yuri, he kind of looks at you and kind of grits his teeth a little bit and darts a look over to Clint and says, "I don't love the idea of traveling at night, but it is very important that we get this water back as soon as possible." Clint, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I'm with you. I can move him through the night. If you don't mind, maybe just
What-
taking. Yep.
Sorry, what's the evening looking like? Is it clear? Do we have a waxing or waning moon?
That's a
What's
great question. It is a very lovely evening at the moment. It is probably about like, I want to say like 18 degrees, but like no wind, so like nice. It's like t-shirt weather at like the end of summer, but like it's kind of getting into fall. You know that like nostalgic like feeling? It's like, yeah, this is good. I could be out all night right now without a jacket, and I'm pretty chill about it. There's a little bit of clouds, and it is almost a full moon. Hawksley Workman been going on at the moment. So yeah, I mean it's been pretty decent visibility. Like again, like last night, Grant, you had a decent sort of view of the area around you with the amount of light that you had. But anything more than maybe 20, 30 feet, outside your vision is very diminished.
I'm gonna turn and say, like, the conditions are good. We can see by the light of the moon, and I think we should push our luck and try to make it back to Boulder as soon as possible.
Well, and I'll say a couple more things. On the one hand, these animals can rest when we get to our destination. We're at the end, so it's easier to push hard. And on the other, whatever that big beefy behemoth was, say that 3 times fast, that was heading at us from the west, I don't want to give them any chance to catch up, whatever they are.
This is fair. I think a moving target is harder to hit. Let us push through.
Sure. You push
Also, we
through.
get more cover through these buildings than if we're sitting here, on the periphery.
It is true. I don't want to be, as they say, caught with my dick in my hand.
That was blue.
I nod knowingly.
Yes. You push
I'm just
through.
kidding. Yuri keeps his in his bag.
Gross. You are nasty.
Raj, love that one.
Nasty, yeah. You got Raj with that one.
You got Raj. Okay, everyone.
Well, you got me too, but I gotta pretend to keep a higher level of decorum here.
God
okay?
damn it.
Yeah.
We just had deep platform. Goodbye.
You push on through
Yeah.
the night, and again, it's getting to be a little bit easier going as you do, but it's probably past midnight at this point, so another good few hours, and it's getting a little bit tired, despite having you all have gotten a decent rest last night, but it's this sort of just past twilight hour. It's dark and all is sort of still and calm, and for a moment things are very, very light. There's a silence almost that you can hear, if that makes any sense at all. You know, that like still, again, like that winter mute.
The sound of
feeling.
silence?
The sound of silence,
The
yeah.
absence of anything else.
The absence of anything else other than the turning wheels and the stamping hooves of the Brahmin. And it's slow and gradual at first, that this gradual sort of volume fills, and the beating of those hooves for a moment gets quieter and then louder and then quieter and then louder and then quieter and then louder, and it's this rhythmic sort of feeling. But as you're making your way through the ruins, you've gotten used to that slapdash roll of the vehicle, when suddenly things start to shake a little bit more than usual, a little bit off their kilter and off their axis. You can see that there's a little bit of gravel, Grant, on the back of the wagon, and Johnny, you feel this too, as the frame of this thing starts to actually sort of shudder and shake at a really off-putting vibration at first.
Yuri's glass of water starts rippling.
Yeah, 100%.
Eyes up, kids.
This familiar but very off-putting beat of Brahmin hooves is suddenly deafening. As
Is it a train robbery?
behind you, and you see it first, Johnny, but you see the light shining off what looks to be about half a dozen Brahmin moving at you at an intense rate of speed. You think at first it's hard to pin exactly how many there are, because you see one head, then two heads, then three heads, and you can't tell if every head you're seeing belongs to two Brahmin or one. And at most you clock about 12 of these heads popping in and out of the light around you. But suddenly they come way too close for comfort, and you see that they are not alone. As make an athletics plus agility check for me, everyone.
Athletics plus
God.
agility?
Yes.
Oh, Yuri's going to be great at this.
Ooh.
Oof.
Talk to me, Goose.
My target number is a 10, and I rolled 2 10s.
Oh, 2 10s. We got some action points. Bow, bow,
Hey,
bow, bow, bow.
Okay.
Target
okay,
number
yep.
is
go
a
ahead.
5, and I got a 6.
Okay.
So, and an 18.
You do not
Woo.
pass. It was a difficulty
Whoa.
1 test, by the way.
Difficulty 1? Okay, because I rolled a 6 and a 19. My target was 9, so 1 success and 1 like very well almost
Almost. Okay.
lost my way.
2 action
my
points in the field, and each of you suddenly, well, first off, Grant and Johnny, you two see this in just enough time to dodge out of the way as 2 very long, very sharp spears come flying at both of y'all.
Mother!
And you dodge out of the way as these spears come your way. But the one that was aiming square for your chest, Johnny, that you just very quickly move out of the way of, keeps going on its trajectory down lengthwise across the tanker and just glints across Yuri's arm, doing
Yuri, no.
1 point of damage.
Oh, my habit. It's so beat up.
We like slow motion 300 in your
Yeah,
shirt.
shink, and it just nicks your arm, and as you can now clearly see, 6 biggest Brahmin you've ever seen in your life, and atop them each is a rider, and they're carrying all manner of spears and wild wasteland-looking garb. And you, Johnny, this is what you see. And Yuri, as you turn around, you feel a hand on your shoulder as Clint looks at you and says, I think they got me, partner.
No!
And
Clint!
you look down, and the spear that grazed your arm is fully through Clint's body. And that's where we're going to take our break for halftime, folks.
Did you just wash me? Like Firefly wash me? Spoilers, by the way. No!
I don't know what happened, but we'll find out in the second half
Ooh.
of today's episode, as y'all just got jumped. And it's a train robbery. Very well called, Grant. It is a fucking train. It is a fucking train heist. We will be back in just about, we'll call it 12 minutes time, which will bring us back to quarter past the hour. We're going to be playing for probably another 45 to an hour after that. Probably try to keep it close to 9 o'clock here Eastern time, but we'll see how things go, because we've got a heist underway, and normally it's you guys doing the heisting. So we'll see how
we're being
goes.
heisted.
You're being
The
heisted.
heisters become the heisties.
Aha! It's a tale as old as time. So go ahead, grab yourselves a drink. We will be back in just a little bit over 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. WGNR will return. Woo. And we are back in the saddle again, coming at you with the second half of episode 13 of A Fistful of Neutrons, our Fallout 2D20 adventure. My name is Ryan. This is the War Games News Radio Fistful of Neutrons crew, and when we just left you folks off, our lovely gang of characters here was pushing through the night on their way back to Boudler City, and they got jumped by some Brahmin riders. They've got their water tanker loaded almost to capacity to exchange it for some caps and hopefully a trade route for Longmount with the Crimson Caravan Trading Company. But things are a little bit dicey, and they're going to have to survive whatever has just happened to them now. And which is where we find ourselves with Clint with a spear straight through his body with an arm on Yuri, saying, I think they got me, partner.
No.
And that's where we are now. You see about half a dozen two-headed cows pouring out from alleyways and side streets and charging towards the tanker at top speed. It is dark, that blue-black of midnight, and the clouds are moving across the Colorado sky, painting this whole scene in a bright white light. But what's more worrisome than these creatures are the beasts are not alone. It's hard to see because it is dark, but you can make out riders in tattered and torn armor spurring their creatures forward. What do you do? It is initiative, and at the top of the order, it is Grant. Theater of the Mind, they are, we'll say there's two behind and two on either side in the medium distance range. What do you do?
Hey, thanks, guys. I did order a brand new scope. Cheers, idiots.
And I'm gonna aim and shoot one of them in the eyeball.
In the face.
In the
Okay.
face.
Roll the beautiful bean footage. Their difficulty 2 to hit the riders and 1 to hit the Brahmin, which I don't like saying out loud, but
Son of a bitch. Okay, Roland, I'm buying and or
you've got 2 to spend.
2. Okay, I'll spend one of those.
Okay.
And I'm gonna re-roll thanks to cautious nature.
Okay.
That's 3 successes. They're not crits. It is a tagged skill.
Okay.
Someone just got shot in the face.
Okay. Someone just got
Or
shot in the
like
face.
yourself.
Roll damage.
So I do apologize. Oh no! I just remembered. My gun got like wrecked last session.
Did it get wrecked?
Well, I think it definitely needed like some work done. So I mean, you could let me retcon in this moment and say over the last 2 days of being on the road, I got the gravel out or whatever was going on.
Oh right, I do remember you.
I
Fucking
jammed
Reverse the polarity on the receiver.
You
ejected.
fucking beefed it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
If I recall incorrectly, which because I didn't write it down, which I'll probably recall incorrectly, but I think it made the damage is reduced, or maybe that was what happened to Johnny's gun because both of y'all crit failed. It was a fucking crit fail salad.
I
last
do
episode.
recall. You're right. It was a salad of crit fails. I do recall that it was a -1 damage until it was fixed, but I think it was also jammed. So can I just say that I've been working on my primary instrument.
You
over the
would
last
have been. It's
2
kind
days?
of it's
Totally,
kind of
yeah.
your thing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so anyway, do I have a negative to my damage still?
Well,
or
I'll
have
say
I
you
been
still
able
have
to-
I'll say you have the negative to your damage unless I'll make you spend 3 bits of junk if you want to have repaired this bad boy.
All right, Yuri had it last. I think Yuri used a bunch of this stuff on pumping stuff. Did you not? Did you burn through any junk, Yuri?
I did not. We definitely have 3 regular junk for you to burn. I will update the inventory.
Also, I love that like we're yelling about like, do you have any chain
Burn
sprocket?
'em.
Well, they're
This
Ramen
was
nights.
While
back
there's
in-
spears
you were
currently
married.
fucking flying, yeah.
hey, do you have an elastic band?
Let me
I've just got this gum.
Hold on a second.
What size screw threads is
Sit on it.
You do that. We'll say if you burn the junk, I'll let you
All right.
retcon. You have repaired your whip.
Perfect. All right. Well, then
So
they get
roll
an
that
extra
7
2d6.
outstanding, ridiculous fucking damage.
Oh,
on this
that's
right
this is quite reasonable. I
Oh, yeah.
would say. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be better, but 4 damage to his eyeball.
Okay. Yep. It hits. It hits, and you do 4 damage to this guy's face. Yep. He recoils. He did not enjoy getting that hit in the face. It is now. Wait. Did you do a minor action? Because you get to aim for free, dude.
No, if the called shots are not more difficult.
Right, that's
but
what it
I still
is.
have to aim
Okay.
to get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Yeah, you shoot him in the face. Yuri, what do? You see Clint in front of you.
Yeah.
He's not doing so hot.
Yuri looks at Clint and looks at the reins and then looks back at Clint and says, "Hold on, I'm sorry," and kind of scooches him over on the bench seat
Yeah.
and takes the reins and yaws the mules to be moving faster. He's going to be pushing them at breakneck speed down this road as fast as he possibly can.
I like it. We're
I
gonna
need
say
to get the fuck out of Dodge, and I'm like, I'll say really quickly to him, I can't do anything for you while we are under attack.
I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna have to give me a if you want to make them increase their speed. I'll say it's easy enough for. Conveniently enough, Clint had just given you a bit of a lowdown the day prior on the reins and whatnot. So I'll say, if you want to speed them up, you'll have to do a command animal roll, which I believe is a charisma plus survival test. Which is a weird combination of things.
Yuri, charismatic as shit.
Nah.
Well, actually, it's not that bad. Charisma is 5, and my survival is 2, so it's a target number of 7. So,
Okay,
yeah.
it's not so
I'm
bad.
rolling my real dice. Ryan bought
Roll
me
'em.
these.
Roll 'em.
So I'm rolling my actual real dice. Oh wow, that's dual 16s.
So you're able to keep like managing on they keep on their current speed. So these riders are now continuing to advance uponst you, but you don't crit fail or anything like that. So you've got control. You're still rolling. You've got you're able to give them left and right, sort of ruddering around some of the debris and whatnot. But you're not able to push them fast enough to outrun the riders as of now.
That's a major action. For my minor action, can I use that to just kind of like suss out, or is this too much? To suss out like how much time Clint has, or is he unstable? Is he like critically wounded? Like, can I kind of suss out what's going on with him?
Sure. It's dark. I mean, you can tell that he has a spear through his chest. That's easy.
Yeah, that's
enough.
not great.
But yeah, give me a intelligence plus medicine quick check. It's gonna be difficulty 2 though.
Well, that's something that I actually am good at.
Okay.
My target number is intelligence plus medicine is a 13. That is a 13 and a 12.
Are those passings?
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. You can tell that he is not just injured. He's critically injured. So he's bleeding out, and he's going to from a game mechanic standpoint, he is critically injured in the torso, giving him the bleed keyword, meaning that at the end of each round, he's going to take 2 damage dices worth of damage. Dices worth of damage. It is now the Brahmin rider's turn, and I'm going to operate them in a bit of a pack mentality, so not doing 1,000 goddamn rolls, but
Roll for
we're gonna do
backstory.
a little eeny meeny miny mo situation, and Yuri's gonna have two throwing spears going just wide, like on either side of your head. Whilst, okay. Wow, and another 2 come flying by your head, and one of them lodges itself in the sort of like the wooden plank wagon sort of seating up on the top of the rig that Clint has in place. So there is now a spear lodged right next to you within grabbing distance, which you could because that guy critically failed.
Okay.
So there's now a spear within your reaching and grabbing purview. Should you decide to grab that spear,
Sure.
And then the other two. Okay, that's gonna be a hit, and so is that as it catches both of you off guard, Johnny and Grant, as you hear the telltale sound of glass breaking, and you very quickly see, it blinds you quickly, but a flash of light as there is fire all of a sudden all along the tanker, and I'm gonna have to get each of you to take. Ooh, each of you takes 4 points of fire damage as 2 Molotov cocktails smash across the hull, if you will, of the tanker. So 4 damage less your damage resistance, and both of you are also. It is persistent damage, so you're currently on a bit of fire. Like
You're a bit on fire.
just
a little on fire.
just like a little bit.
Is Duke burning right now in his fur? That I can't...
Duke is not, because I am not going down.
He
that
dodged
road.
it.
Yeah.
He dodged it.
He like
He's a good dodger.
Duke is inflammable.
because I'm
No,
not fucking doing
means
that. I'm not lighting the dog on fire. Is the
Yeah, we
basics
don't light
of
the
it.
dog on fire.
Like,
No one ever lights the dog on fire.
Don't tweet at me like, well, actually, the gasoline is gonna. I don't care. I'm not lighting the dog on fire. It's not happening. Not today.
You do it.
I'm the
I'm not doing
overseer, and I'm telling you, this dog is made out of
I'm telling you,
asbestos.
this dog will never die.
It's my asbestos construct dog.
But each of you has been injured. So there you go. Do with that
That's
what
not
you
good.
will.
I'm laughing because otherwise I'd be crying because this is sad. I don't want Duke to
I mean,
get
it's
hurt.
not good. But damage effects is persistent damage. And I always need to read this one up in the book. So basically, you got to spend a major action to put yourselves unfired, or else you're going to take damage. So there you go. At the end of each of your turns. But both you and the tanker took some damage as well. There's a mechanic we haven't played around with too much yet, but the tanker has hit points. Of which it is now down. It's a pretty sturdy little bastard though. So it only loses 2 hit points where it could have potentially lost 8. But it is also on fire. Yes.
Is it tanky?
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
I'm not lighting the dog on fire. I'm not doing it.
No, I mean the tanker's taking damage. Is it made out of like pine?
It took
You're
it
a
took
wood
damage.
tanker.
It
It's
took
a
damage
wooden
from-
hollow.
from the glass bottles hitting it. They're really sharp glass.
Heavy, like 40-pound.
Don't make me-
Kettlebells made of solid glass.
Don't make me retcon these into grenades. You won't like it. They do more damage.
I won't like it. That's fine. Yes, no, there's burning.
The tanker's on fire. It's not
The
great.
tanker's on fire.
It's getting so hot from the outside that it's evaporating the water from the
Fair.
inside.
There's
No,
holes
I'm
in the top,
just kidding.
sure.
Fuck off! No, it's not. That's not how it works. Stop evaporating my water.
I'm just kidding. Everything's fine. The tanker took damage, and that's what happened. And these things are now close, a lot closer. In fact, if anybody wanted to try to clock these riders, you could give me a difficulty 2 perception plus survival test.
Clock them, like punch them, or determine how fast they are traveling.
To just get like, what the fuck? There's a bunch of dudes riding horses next to me. Check.
To check them out.
Or Brahmin check. Yeah.
Whoever wants to roll this can.
Everyone can. They're close
Alright.
enough. They're now all around you.
Perception and which?
Perception survival.
Alrighty, target 10.
Broke that pen.
Don't see it. I'm trying to put Duke out. I'm all freaked out. I don't notice.
Okay.
I don't see shit.
Yeah, I don't see shit.
Okay. Nobody sees shit about fuck.
Fury's looking at the poor driver with the thing in his chest.
It's dark
Everything's
too.
dead.
It's hard to get a read on these there, but from even just those failed tests, what I'll give you is that you see that there's like a real hodgepodge situation going on with these guys. You can't, like, they don't look like raiders, they don't look like NCR, they don't look like highwaymen. They look weird as fuck. Like,
Are they flying any banners?
You don't see.
Are they wearing any colors? Oh, Yuri doesn't see shit.
Did you pass your tests? Then you don't see shit. There you go.
Did you pass your tests?
Yeah. Did you keep
Is
your
there
grades
a
up?
bull on a red fucking banner?
No, there is not. But there's a lot going on here that you do not fucking understand, and that's odd enough as it is. As we go into Johnny Bottlecap, what do you do, pal? You got creatures and riders all around you.
So what's the fire situation? Do I have to spend an action point and to basically put myself off a fire?
Yeah, you have to spend a major action to unfire yourself. You could also alternatively unfire the tanker, but it would mean that you're going to take some damage at the end of this turn.
Ooh, the heroic
Or
choice.
alternatively, you can also spend action points to make another major action, which is something we rarely ever do here on this program.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
double up major actions, and you have exactly enough action points to take 2 major actions should you want. So you could, not to game break, you could put yourself and the tanker out if you wanted to.
Okay, I would like to do that, and I would also like to mention I have a perk that I've never used before called Action Boy. It says when you spend AP to take another major action, you do not suffer the increased skill test difficulty during your second action.
Ooh.
Well, hot dang.
Well, hot.
I'm definitely doing it now.
Hot. Yeah, well, I'm definitely doing it now. Yeah, okay. Well, then, in that case, it'll be difficulty 1 tests across the board. It was gonna be difficulty 1, difficulty 2, but because of that, there you go. So difficulty 1 tests across the board. We'll say for this, it'll be. I mean, you're trying to put yourself out, right? So like, what it would be, agility plus. I want to say
Survival is stop, drop, and roll.
Athletics?
It's the first thing that you learn about survival.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, that's a bit tricky. Why don't you come at me with how you want to put the fire out and what attributes you want to use?
Okay, I would prefer to use agility and athletics.
Okay.
Would be my preferred approach. So I think for extinguishing myself, I'm gonna try and do a little bit of a stop, drop, and roll on top of the tanker.
Sure.
And then I don't know. I'm gonna. So, is like the whole length of the tanker is on fire? Is it like at the top, at the bottom?
Yeah, well, I'll say like sort of like the top, sort of the top middle of it, I guess. Actually, yeah, there we go. I'll say that you and Grant. It's basically the fire's in the middle top of this thing, and on the 4 side has Grant, Johnny, Yuri, and Clint with the spear through his chest, and then on the aft of the tanker has Dorman Guns and Duke and Grant, and you're separated by the fire and flames.
Okay. I'm not sure how to athletically put out the fires on the tanker.
Well, let's deal with your flames first.
Yeah, let's do my
I'll get you to
first.
roll for an athletics plus agility test, difficulty 1 to put yourself out.
So, target number. Oh my god, that was really bad. Target number was a 10, and I rolled a 14 and a 19.
Ooh.
And you have
So I think
burn.
Johnny's still on fire, and I have no luck points to burn.
Okay. Well, I'll let you give it the old college try. Still on the second attempt there.
Can't you? Are you already substituting luck? Is that a thing? Is there a mechanic?
He's out of points. He's
I'm
out
out
of
of it.
juice.
I'm out.
Fair enough. The
Yeah.
points.
He's out of
burn
magic.
up.
He's out of mojo.
Yeah, he's got no spell
No
slots.
more
left.
bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
So this one is a 5 and a 1, and athletics is a tag skill. So
You
that's
just
whole
generated
bunch
a
of
shit
successes.
ton of action points. Okay. So
with
yeah,
the
so you
crit
generated 2 action points on that. So you basically replaced the 2 that you spent. And you rolled like a straight nat 1.
Straight up 1.
Wow.
Like
Okay.
legit.
That's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll give you this. You roll. So you get down to do your first stop, drop, and roll to put yourself out, and you roll. You don't put yourself out when you roll, but you roll through the fire and the flames, and somehow put the tanker out while rolling. You roll so fast that you create a vacuum Superman style that like sucks all the oxygen out of the room. By the room, I mean the world. And puts the tanker's fire out. So we'll say you're able to get the tanker fire out. And because you critted, I'm tempted just to let you also put fire out, but instead you're gonna take half damage. Okay, so you take no damage off your persistent flamage. You're still on fire, but you didn't take any damage this time around, and you generated 2 action points. So the tanker is no longer on fire, taking persistent damage.
Nice.
You are on fire, but you didn't take persistent damage on that one turn, but you are still on fire going forward.
Thank you for clearing that up.
You are welcome. But you still
I feel
have
like
your...
that's something. Sorry, a
Sorry.
boss would say to their direct report at a job, like, "You are still on fire." Just saying. So continue with those
Just
tasks.
so everyone's clear, if you can't already tell, you are on fire.
On fire.
But you still have a minor action. Do you wish to do anything with it, like move or?
Just kind of like secure myself, after having rolled through the fire and the
Sure.
flame.
Okay.
Just kind of like hold on, prepare almost to like go straight into another
Okay.
drop
Yeah.
and roll, trying to put myself out.
Yeah,
I'm just
so
getting ready for that.
Yeah, you like hold an action kind of deal. So give you sort of advantage, if it were, on trying to roll yourself out of fire again next time around. But that's going to bring it to our man Dorman Guns, who at the rear of this thing is, as you get up, Johnny, and sort of like pop your head up and grab onto the sort of the runner railing on the top of this thing. You see that Dorman Guns is actually at the moment entangled with one of these riders who's boarded onto the rear of this vehicle, and he's gonna go ahead
Darn.
and swing with a critical hit.
Dorman Guns crit hit.
Dorman Guns crit
Oh,
hit.
turn this guy into goop.
Ooh.
Fuck yes.
That's really good. 2, 4, 6 damage. Ouch.
Ooh.
So he brings Excalibur down on this fool and like cleaves him in like the shouldery neck meat sort of area, and like he just like whomp, like drops. And he's taken a lot of damage to his head. He is critically injured in the melon, taking that hit and losing almost half his hit points in one show. So that didn't feel good for this fool.
I need a chiropractor.
Yeah, that sucked. But it is now the top of the order, and you can now see that the Brahmin that this guy was riding is now sort of ridden up and formed like in a pack formation with 2 of the other ones on the left-hand side. And there's now one guy on the back, one other Brahmin rider, presumably trying to mount onto the back as well, and then 2 on either side, now within close distance. It is Grant, your turn. What
Would
do
you say this is a war boy scenario?
It's
They're
not.
fucking-
It's not unlike. I mean, we're drawing a lot of inspiration in this mini arc. One of them is, Mad Max. So.
We should add Kevin Costner's Waterworld. No, just kidding.
Rhineland is not a myth.
All right.
Fish lips.
I'm switching to my 44 because it's time for that.
Because it's time for that.
It's time for that. Can I get some clarity on what happened to the guy that I shot in the face? Did that kill him? I missed that part.
No, he was severely injured. You can still clock him. He's not the guy who's jumped up, but he is within jumping up in boarding range next time around. He's one of the guys who chucked this Molotov.
Yeah, the problem is I've now made a friend, so I gotta invite him to the party.
I'm gonna shoot him in the face.
Please do.
And an action point.
Now, yes, you can absolutely do that. Now, we did, thanks to our resident rules lawyer, Neisinger and Sons, we do know that your pistol, the sniper perk does not apply to your pistol. So if you want to aim, you have to do it as your minor action. Thank you, Matthew.
Fair enough. I will now have to look for that page number, but that's okay. You know what? I'm going to shoot him in the face anyway, even though I can tell I'm a little less certain with my shot now. We're on a moving thing. I'm bouncing around.
And it's difficulty 2 because it is dark, and he's... but switching to your gun, to your close range weapon was a good call. Otherwise, it would be difficulty 3.
Fair enough. So I did roll for this.
Okay.
Would you like me? But that was like 30 seconds ago, and I feel bad. Would you like me to re-roll or what?
I will let you decide what you want. I will be benevolent in this moment, and
All right,
whether or not yes.
I bought the action points. I rolled 3 times. There's 3 successes.
Okay, there we go. Then you connect. Pow. Pow.
I like
No, the sound the guns make. Pew pew.
the pow.
No one in this family know what a chicken sounds like?
Fired a gun.
All right.
How much could one banana cost? $10?
$10. Okay, now we're
No more Arrested Development. Okay.
I'm rolling dice. There's
Roll
always
damage,
money in
roll
the banana
damage.
stand, baby. Oh, disappointing. That's only 2 damage to this poor gentleman's face.
Okay. Some of it goes through.
Okay. All right. I look at the pistol, a little disappointed with myself. And we'll pass it off to
We'll pass
initiative
it off
order number
to,
2.
yeah, and that is Yuri. What do you do, pal?
Yeah, Yuri's going to again kind of after clocking Clint's wounds, do a little life math of am I going to let this man die? Fuck. And with my minor action, I would like to tie the reins to sort of the running board in front of us.
Okay.
And then I'm going to turn and attend to Clint.
Ooh,
I'd say,
okay. Yep.
Clint, I need you to stay. I need your help still. Don't go. And
yeah,
I'm
so
going to perform medicine.
you are able to do that. It is going to be a tricky roll, though. I'll give you that. It's going to be a difficulty 3. You are moving. It's dark, and he has a spear through probably a bunch of his organs. Yeah.
I just want to stabilize him. I'm not
Sure.
fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. I'm going to buy. How many action points do we have?
You have exactly. Oh no, wait. You just scored a bunch, Grant. So you got 3. You now have 2. In the
Okay, I'm actually
no
gonna
3.
burn.
3 in the pool.
I'm gonna
Nope,
burn
2.
2.
in the pool. Sorry.
I'm going to burn 2 action points.
Okay.
And roll 4 times for.
Okay. And you're buying
intelligence
one
plus
from me too. Okay.
medicine, which is 13 target number.
God, that's high.
That's high. It's a high number. Okay, that's an 11 and an 18.
God, you're
So
so
not
mean.
great. Oh no, lab coat.
Lab coat.
I get to re-roll once.
And
and
reroll
it's
that 18. Otherwise, it's
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna
fucking
reroll.
crit fail.
fucking yes. So that's a 10. So that's 2 successes. And rolling my second set. Yep, that's a 6 and a 12. 4 successes in total.
Okay, well done.
Hey, nice.
You are able to stabilize the wound. So fuck it. How do you want to do this? You tell me.
Yeah, I'm going to go into my pack, or the empty burlap sack. I'm going to pack it around the impaled object, and then to staunch the bleeding, and then I'm going to tear a strip off of Clint's pants, and tie both front and back to stabilize this spear inside of him while packing it with the burlap sack to staunch the bleeding.
I like it. Okay, it is very effectful.
And I'll say, Clint, it's the best I can do for now until we get free of this shit.
He's like delirious. He's in shock. He's like, oh yeah, I'll get to feeding the Brahmin tomorrow morning, Lisa May. Like he's like fully fucking out of it. Like you have no idea what he's talking about at the moment. But he is not bleeding out anymore. Grant,
friend.
Grant, I almost forgot that you, because you are on fire, do need to take
yes.
2 less your armor persistent damage.
You know, so I'd like to point out, did I just shoot a guy with a revolver while I was burning?
You did.
You did. Yes.
Fuck yes.
Yeah. I mean, you're only
heck
slightly
shit
on
going
fire.
on.
Like, yeah, you're like your arm and shit's like your duster's on fire at the,
I'm only a little bit burning, yeah. So
Yeah.
two damage from the fire.
2
Nice.
damage, less armor. Yes.
Flame kit.
Yes, exactly. Slightly, your Cajun style at the moment.
It's toasted.
You're
Nice.
Cajun.
Yeah, nicely worked, Yuri. You have patched up that injury, so Clint is no longer bleeding, which is ain't not half bad.
No one is driving the bus at this point. By
No,
the way, I just want to point out.
I'm aware of that too. It is
I couldn't let him die.
It is now the Brahmin gang's turn here. So we're going to go and randomize. 2 of them are going to throw spears, and 2 of them are going to Molotov. And wow, they just really want to try to hit Yuri, and one of them is going to hit. What's your damage? What's your defense? Your damage? Sorry, are you 1 to hit or 2 to hit?
Oh, I'm sure Yuri's 1 to
I'm
hit.
sure
My
I'm sure
defense
he's
is
to hit
1.
as well, his defense. Yeah, okay, yeah, and that's what that is.
Yuri's real easy to hit.
Then you're going to take 3 damage, less armor, and that is going to hit you
Where are they hitting me?
in the torso.
Okay, well, I'm taking 2 damage then.
Okay, then that's how much you take.
Owie, that hurts.
That's how much
Owie.
you take.
Ow.
And ooh, another one gets firing, and this time it's going to go at Grant. Grant, you are going to get hit. Oh wait,
My defense is 2.
they rolled a 7 and a 6, and that is lower than their target number. Actually, it is their target number and 1 lower. And so he's gonna hit for 3 damage in the left leg, less your armor.
Owie.
Owie indeed. And then another one is going to critically fail when throwing his Molotov cocktail, which is going to go wide and smash ahead of the convoy, and like it's a really cool slow motion scene when like there's like this smoke and fiery explosion in the dark is lit up, and then the Brahmin slowly matrix bullet time through the fucking fire and flame.
Except for only going 15 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, they're going at it like, and the second one also crit fails. It's a double. It's the exact same thing twice because I can't think of fucking 2 cool things that close together.
The jars hit each other.
Yes, they hit each other in the air and like explode in like a cool fireworks.
Real
display.
cool slow-mo, and the doves fly out of the explosion.
Yeah, it's a fucking John Woo film. It's Mission Impossible 2, and it's real
White
bad.
silk floating in the background in slow motion.
And that's exactly what's happening. A Nicolas Cage shows up out of nowhere for some
Holy
reason.
shit! Welcome to our podcast, pop culture reference, everybody.
Too many of them. But that is going to be Clint, who's just like, he's just fucking goofed. He's just still in shock and not doing a whole heck of a lot of anything. But it is Dorman Guns who's going to take a fucking swing at Buddy, who's not looking so hot. Wow, he hits twice, and it's gonna be crits, both of them actually.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he's going to go and roll into Jesus.
Make that noise again.
6. He does. Wow, he does 8 damage with his Scalibord coming right
Well,
down,
it's about fucking time, gun.
and it's like 1, 2. That first hit and second hit just like chop, even more, and just because it's a fucking dope line, and because of George Keith, no ticket, and he just gets fully squished on each hit, and there's 1 less rider in this pack.
And that's a full squish.
And that's chunky. Now we're bringing it off to back to the top of the order, I do believe. Wait,
I've never heard
sorry,
of anyone
Johnny.
dropping someone to half
Johnny.
with a board.
yeah, it's good. I mean, he didn't
love
actually get cut in half, but like his
Oh, I get it.
he's
I
liquid.
get it.
He's
I
just
love
like
it.
he's just a meat sack at this point. All of his bones are just like fully like he's a fucking marionette. But sorry, Johnny, it is your turn. What do you do?
Okay. I had an idea of like I wanted to maybe buy or spend AP to get another major action, and try and do a roll to put myself out of fire,
Mhm.
and then also like hop up and take a shot at one of the raiders.
I love it.
Perfect.
I will
So
let
what is
you.
it gonna take for me to do that? Agility.
Yes. So we'll say it's agility athletics again to put yourself out, but I'll let you choose. Oh wait, never mind. Because you have that action boy perk, the difficulty doesn't increase So it's going to be the same difficulty. So actually, it's going to be difficulty 1 to put the fire out, and then.
I'll talk to him.
We're lagging at the moment, folks. Hopefully this will all come back. I think we're coming back. I think it's looking good. Hold on. I don't know if I need to like... Oh, look, and we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Hey!
Did hit the guy so hard
Sorry
we
about that,
broke
folks.
the Matrix.
We're back. We're back. I'm not sure exactly when we dropped out, but we are back now. So if the last couple moves, Johnny took a shot at the cow, shot at a Brahmin, hit for 5 damage. It does have some damage resistance though. So you did 4 damage to that Brahmin, which is significant actually. That's pretty good.
All right, yeah, Johnny's just gonna take a knee, and get ready for the next round.
Okay, sounds like a plan. It is the top of the order then in that case. As you're pushing on, you're getting closer now. It's getting about to be. You're starting to recognize some landmarks now, both Grant and Yuri, having spent enough time near Boulder City. You get the impression that you're getting closer than you are far as your tussle with these dudes continue. You probably estimate you only have another hour or 2 probably at your current pace before making it back to Boulder City. Grant, top of the order, where are you at?
So this poor gentleman I've now shot in the face twice, still alive, and I'm still on fire. So I'm going to put myself out of being on fire if I can. Let's use my major action to do that.
Okay.
And with my minor action, there's not really much that I can do that I care to do. I'll just spit in the general direction of the man with 2 facial gunshot wounds.
Okay, I like that. That's, I mean, a pretty good place to start, I think.
Yeah. I was burning.
Oh, sorry. Did you roll for it?
Oh, sorry. No.
You need to spend. Yes. So, just like Johnny, it'll be an agility plus athletics to put yourself
Agility,
up.
athletics, no problem.
You got this.
2 successes.
Then there you go. You generate 1 for the pool and put yourself out.
All right, that's my turn.
Okay. That is your turn. That's going to bring it to Yuri. What's the move, buddy? Just so you get an idea, things are getting a little cattywampus up top there, having the no rain situation.
Yeah. I'm going to I think grab the reins again now that Clint is stable. And I will try to, I think I'm just going to go with what I thought originally and try to speed him up and get some distance between me and, or us and these Brahmin assholes.
I like it. Command.
Animal handling, you said charisma plus survival?
That is correct.
Okay, it's a 7 is the target number.
You've got action points in the pool right now. You got 3 in the pool.
How many action points do we have?
You could buy with this. You could buy 2 extra dice.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll 4 times.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I'll see you in hell.
Yeah.
And okay, so that's 1 success. That's a 3 and a 13. So 1 success, 1 fail. And rolling the second time.
Off to a bang up start.
That's a cock die on the floor. That's a 5 and a 13. So that's 2 successes.
Boy, you nail it. Yep, you are able to to move up ahead a little bit more and get one sort of fence post ahead of these goofs as you crack the reins, and the Brahmin, after this cacophony of fucking spears and fire and running through fucking cool John Woo fireballs and stuff, they run through that, and they pick up the pace and start to move a little bit closer. Again, you're seeing some of these as you're getting sort of these onslaughts and like these, like they're now sort of just taking like buzzing sort of passes at you at the moment. But the group of Brahmin whose turn it is now, we're gonna go ahead and do another quick salvo of, oh my word, that's 2 misses.
Yeah.
And another hit as the tanker takes another. Dun, 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 dun.
My tanker.
Ooh,
I need all of the water.
The tanker takes another 2 damage. It's pretty tough, and it's only taken what? It's only taken 4 damage, I think, so far. So you're of its. I think I gave it 35 hit points, so it's still doing pretty good. But that was before you see the 2 riders on either side sort of swing wide and then come charging head on as the riders jump up, grab a spear each, and spur the Brahmin, who run headlong into the tanker as they jump and leap aboard, and you now have 4 scraggly looking motherfuckers on the top of your tanker, which is about to take some serious damage. And you hear them scream out something which chills you all to the bone as they leap through the air. As they scream out, Ave Libertas!
I fucking knew it!
Ave Relictas! And that's where we'll leave it for today. This has been episode 13 of A Fistful of Neutrons, a Fallout 2D20 adventure. Thank everyone so much for joining us on this train heist episode. The gang here are a stone's throw away from Boudler City, but they've got some pretty nasty folks on their tail and also on the tanker. So there you go.
Fucking Legion, man.
God damn.
I mean, it's not the Legion, but it's
the Legion.
It's Legion-esque. It's Legion-airy, I guess.
It's Legion adjacent.
It's left of Legion. There's another fucking indie band name for you.
Yeah, Left of Legion is our new fucking band.
Left of Legion is our new band name. Thank you all so much for joining in and watching today. So great to have all you folks sticking through and sticking through on our new day. And it just keeps getting better and better. And thank y'all so much for hanging out. It's been a great time, this whole experiment. We're sort of getting near the end of season 1, if you will, but we're having a ton of fun doing it, and we've got plans for more fun stuff coming up down the line. If you haven't checked out some of our one-off episodes, the Halloween special, as well as the Christmas Festivus Krampus holiday special, definitely recommend you check those out. And for those of you who are into other games as well as Fallout 2D20, I've got some new content coming out for you in the next couple weeks. On Sunday, a new Battle Report episode of Skyrim Sundays will be out, which was a super fun one, using some new units and some new terrain in that video. And then the following week, we've got the part 2 of the Fallout Wasteland Warfare Better Know a Faction Survivors series, where I'll be going over all of the New Vegas units in detail. But if you want to get a bit of early bird access to all of that fun stuff on our Patreon, any and all Patreon members will get access to those videos one day early. So tomorrow we'll be back just after Valentine's Day, and we will show you how much we love you all with diamonds and flowers and
chocolates,
and like
I'll wear that red thing that you all like.
Yeah.
3,900 gallons of water.
3,900 gallons of water.
Gasoline. Or you can show up here and we'll make a bunch of fart and dick jokes, and it'll be a great time.
It'll be fun. Come and check us out again. Thanks a lot, guys.
Check us out on Discord, on Instagram, and all of the above. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode and the conclusion of the Furry Road saga.